My American dream was to either be the President of the United States or to be a fireman. That was through elementary school, where that was, the number one go-to: president, fireman, police officer, things like that. I think everything changed once I started really playing sports. I've been playing softball my whole life, practically since I was about 4 or 5 years old. I also played volleyball, I cheered, I ran track, different things like that. And from there, I just knew that sports was my dream. I knew I wanted to be the president, not of the United States anymore, but I now want to be the president of a sports team one day. So we'll see how far, that one goes. I want to grow as not only a Latina, but also a woman in general. Some of the struggles that I have had was, in the sports world, it is a man's predominantly, occupation. So as a woman, you have to kind of, stop and say, no, I can do this. Just because I'm a girl doesn't mean, I can't do something, or you're better than me. For me, I've made it feel like more, because I am a girl, I'm going to work harder than, doesn't matter if it's another female or a male, I'm gonna work harder than you. When I first started working with the Los Angeles Sparks, I would be at Staples Center till almost midnight, and then I would have to run back to Laverne for either, an 8 a.m. class the next morning, or sometimes even 6 a.m. weights, because I was part of the softball team there. So it was a little hard and a little overwhelming, but once I graduated, it got a little bit easier in terms of, time management skills. My parents have always been very, very supportive in my dreams and, what they think I am capable of doing. They've always pushed me through school and, pushed my dreams, and just always told me, like, if you want to do it, do whatever you want to do, but do it right and do it well, and do it, as hard as you possibly can, so that people know how your work experience and how you are as a person. I think my biggest influence were the people that kind of said that I couldn't, or the people, that said that it's hard, you don't hit the requirements, to get in sports. And I think just sports in general is my number one influence. I love the competition. Like I said, I love all sports. So I think that sports was the biggest influence in my life. I think being a Latina has helped me in terms of not only jobs, but in life in general. I feel like I am more open to things. I feel like I understand more things. And I'm very proud of my culture in terms of, accepting and just being so diverse with different kinds of people. It is hard as a woman to work in a sports related industry. It's mostly a man's job, man's world in the sports world. So I've had those times where, oh, it's okay, like, she can mess up, she's a girl. And it's like, no, I think that everyone needs to be at a higher standard, that it's never okay, to fail at what the task is at hand. Like, just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I should get a pass. Just because you're a man doesn't mean you should get a pass. I don't think anybody should get a pass, for that matter. Like I said, I think, once you put your head into it, then you should be, full force, working hard, straight ahead. I was the first to graduate college in my entire family. That was really huge for me and my family. I was the first granddaughter of my grandma to graduate college, and it was very awesome because she was there at my graduation. She's from Texas, so she flew all the way from Texas to California for my graduation. It was kind of hard in terms of, filling out applications or filling out FAFSA or scholarships, just because, my parents never went through that. So it was hard, being only 17 years old when I was still a senior in high school, trying to figure out like, okay, what do I need in terms of, FAFSA, scholarships. So that was a little tough, doing it kind of by myself, knowing that, my parents, they tried their very best to help me, but they didn't know themselves, which, you can't blame them for that. So that was probably one of the struggles that I had, growing up, in terms of being a first generation kid, but at the same time, I couldn't be any more happier and I couldn't be any more proud of myself or my family, in terms of, being first gen, being first to graduate. It felt really awesome. I guess in terms of going through life and going through the different paths that I have, is just, you're gonna fail and, you're gonna fall, but it's like, okay, am I gonna just let myself fall and just stay down, or am I gonna push myself and get up? And I think that's something that I've learned, that it's okay to cry, it's okay to be upset at yourself, it's okay, but just know tomorrow you need to do better and be better, and be the best that you can for that day. The advice that I would have for a younger generation, Latinas, Latinos, Latinx, would probably be to just, I know it sounds so cliche, but to just do it. I know that it's really hard, when you see like, oh, requirements is this, that, and all this other stuff, and you don't have it. My suggestion is just apply. If that's your dream, just do it. I've, had so many job opportunities where I didn't have my degree yet, or I didn't have any experience yet, and I applied, and from there you kind of just show like your personality, and from there that's where you get the job, and that's where you get in. And it's like, you need that first step into the sports world, or that first step into wherever you want to get to, and that's how you get in. You just try until somebody lets you in, because somebody will give you a chance. And I think another one to be is, don't be so hard on yourself. I know that everyone wants to do their best, and that's my number one thing, to be my best every day, but sometimes you're going to fail. And in sports, that's a big thing. You're gonna fail, a lot of the times, and that's okay. You need to know that, I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna fail, but I need to get back up, because tomorrow is another day and no one's gonna feel bad, just leaving you there. You need to get up yourself. And I think that's something that I've learned along the way in the sports world, that, you need to keep pushing yourself no matter where you are, who you are, or anything like that.